Hey, yo, what's up? You know this, the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. live from the Team GRF newsroom. And okay, we knew this was going to be a thing at some point. Whether it was this ultimately is going to come on the arcades in Japan or something, or whether it was ultimately that dude data mines every single thing about this video game from the PC version. We knew this was going to be a thing. So I'm not going to sit up here as a journalist and act surprised that we're about to watch the trailer and talk about this, because the thing is, knowing that this is a thing and it's real and it exists and we're going to go through all that, I got the usual things that we tackle, but there is a question. A single solitary question that I have, and it's something that we have discussed at length before, but I just figured that given what this game has been, what Arcade Edition possibly is, and what it could be, is that it fathoms us to bring up this question and give it a little bit discussion and try to like understand like where the hell this is coming from. Like, we all been here for Street Fighter 5, and whether it's good, bad, or ugly, or whatever the hell you want to label it as, it's Street Fighter 5. Like, the little bit I have finally played of it, it's Street Fighter. It serves that function. And I don't mean function as in function, but I mean function as being a Street Fighter game. Don't get me twisted, internet. So it serves that function. I haven't played any of the Season 2 characters, anything like that. I haven't even played none of the Season 1 DLC characters. I figured out how lore worked. I played a bit of Ken. I played Queen Karen, and that's just all it was. This is going to get interesting for reasons, because as someone who has only played what was the base video game and all that, and haven't bought a thing, and there was a reason why I didn't buy the season pass or whatever for the first season, I'm hoping this is what it is, because I'll be willing to go buy another disc. You know what I'm saying? I know there are people who have invested fight money and invested time in grinding out fight money, so you don't have to purchase the things that are purchasable with fighting money or cash. So it is what it is with that. But I'm hoping that Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition is certain things for someone like me who is a lapsed player of this video game, because again, like I said, I'll be willing to go buy a disc for this, because I buy a disc for everything. I got Exerd, I got Revelator and Rev 2 all on disc. Like, why didn't you just buy the upgrades? Because, well, I like to have a physical hard copy in case of an emergency. And trust me, the digital age, there are plenty of emergencies. So, enough about that. We're going to watch this trailer. We're going to take it to our correspondent live over there, and we're going to get some more information, and we're going to try to suss this out, and then I'm going to answer that question, or try to even start to shed some light on that question of even what I'm talking about, if y'all even feeling the wave I'm on. So, how about, I don't know about y'all, I know about me though. How about, once I turn this down just a little bit, move my bag of Doritos. Doritos sponsor me. I eat your spicy sweet chili all the time with like all sorts of good gangster stuff. Just sponsor me, give me that Dorito sponsorship. I will eat Doritos on a stream that don't exist. Sponsor me, Doritos. Let's watch the trailer, y'all. So let's see. Rated T for teen. Alrighty, so okay, Capcom logo, okay. The 30th anniversary of Street Fighter, that is indeed a thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Ryu's meditating. What are you thinking about, sir? What are you thinking about? A waterfall. Okay, and there's Goki, because, you know, he's still going to forever challenge you to accept the Sasui no Ado as your lord or something, because that's just what y'all do and have been doing for about 2 decades now. It's just a thing. Chun-Li in the bathroom, Rashid, the Bay of Street Fighter, the other Bay of Street Fighter, the other Bay, that dude from Final Fight, and stuff and things. Okay. Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition. Yeah, I spent like 3 minutes talking about this. I knew this was a thing. Is this the whole trailer for real? All Season 1 characters, arcade mode, extra battle mode, and new V-triggers, and stuff will be free for everybody. Ooh, $40 to get in on this. Okay, fine. I'm with that. Okay, so here is what we have learned so far, children. This is exactly what it is that lapsed players like me want. Like, I can go buy this for $40. You people who have invested things in Street Fighter, sit up here and talk smack about it and secretly loved it in your own love corner, tongue kissing it or whatever the hell, is this is a win for everybody so far. If you like I said, if you're a lapsed player like me, you can go. I'll go buy another disc for $40. I bought the limited edition version, opened it, gave it to Jay. He gave it back to me, and I just played it like a couple of weeks ago. So there is that. So far, Capcom's getting it right. I'm willing to give it to them. Everything you want. Chun-Li in the bathroom. More Monots than a Monot on Monot Day. All the things you won't need. And Abigail for some reason, because, you know, Final Fight or something. I don't know. But we've got our correspondent who we don't pay, Andy Wong, live from Capcom Unity, and I will be speaking on behalf of one Andy Wong, who says something about great power and responsibility, about everything we need to know about Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. Hey, Wisdoms. I was just my dog Lizzie. Don't worry about it. Look, all right, let's do this. Okay, let's do this right here. Okay, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition coming January the 16th, live from Capcom Unity or whatever. Prepare yourself. Street Fighter V Arcade Edition is coming out on January 16, 2018. If you've been speculating from the sidelines or waiting for a reason to join the fight, now's the time. In addition to highly requested arcade mode, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition contains a bounty of new features you want to check out. Let's get to it. Ooh, that looks pretty. Oh, I like that. I like that screen. It reminds me of like Super Turtle, like. I don't know if you guys remember, because I'm looking at the picture. Y'all supposed to be on Capcom Unity with your boy now, right? I don't know if y'all remember what the arcade, like what the joystick setup looked like for Super Street Fighter and Super Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It was like the world. It's like, if you want a better example, it's the joystick that Bison uses in Street Fighter the movie. It's that, and that's what that backdrop looks like. That looks sick. I can even admit that looks sick. And Monotis Bay, but whatever. Anyway, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition will feature all 28 characters, including those ones from Season 1 and 2, with one more from Season 2 to be announced, which we know is Zeku, and I wish it was Strider, but anyway. For those yearning for more options, each character will receive a second V-Trigger, which will significantly change their playstyle. You may need to relearn your main or try another character who speaks to you in a different way due to their alternate abilities. Stay tuned for more information on each character's second V-Trigger. And we talked about that picture that's really pretty. As it is our 30th anniversary year, we want to celebrate by making sure Street Fighter V Arcade Edition contains a plethora of new content. True to its name, Arcade Mode is coming to Street Fighter V Arcade Edition and will be an experience right with nostalgia. Furthermore, we're extra battle mode, a gallery, and completely redesigning the UI to amplify the epic quality of this new version. We have much more to share on each of these modes and more content to reveal in the future. Okay. From the beginning, we promised that you need to. Okay. Before I read this next sentence, is that they got some pictures, and it's like they got like the different arcade modes. They got like a road for Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, 4, and Street Fighter 5. So, let me see. I'm trying to think. Other games have done this. Other Street Fighter games have done something similar to this. I'm trying to think. I am thinking of Alpha 3, I think. Like, Alpha 3 had something similar where it broke it down by different games. And I may have that completely wrong, or maybe thinking about another Street Fighter game all in it entirely, but I think that's what I'm thinking about. But like I said, it looks really, really, really pretty. Looks really, really pretty. I'm impressed. I am. So, pictures, you know, Capcom Unity, blah. Anyway, from the beginning, we promised that you'll only need to purchase the original Street Fighter V, which we're sticking to. All the new gameplay-related content, arcade mode, extra battle mode, a second V-Trigger, the gallery, and more will be available as part of a free in-game update for current players. Those who don't have Street Fighter V can purchase Street Fighter V Arcade Edition for $39.99, and it will include everything we mentioned above. We at Capcom would like to thank you for letting us take your money so far, and finally, after some change and you bitching about stuff, we gonna make the game that we should have made in the first place. But thank you for being a whole bunch of suckers. Keep buying Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and complaining about it. Memes. Get on. Leaks. But for real, seriously, thank you for supporting Street Fighter V. As mentioned earlier, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition will be available on PS4 retail or the digital download on January the 16th, 2018. Follow them on Twitter or Facebook to learn more about Street Fighter V and Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. Alright. Thank you, whatever. What was this dude's name? Because see, we got people in the field, I don't even know their name, but you don't work for the Glow, you don't work for Team GRS, so we don't care who you is, partner. But thank you, Andy Wong. Anyway, remember that question that I wanted to present at the beginning of this? Remember that question? Here it is. Street Fighter V, we knew was going to the arcades, right? This brings up the question of what is going to get the hookup first? Will it be like it was where the arcade version, like in past games and like recent games, where the arcade version get the hookup first, and we iron out any bugs in the arcade version, and we gonna make money hand over fist because it's 100 yen per play, because let's get this money, and then we roll it out to you at some point. I'm like, very recent games have done this. BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, Dead or Alive, Tekken has. It's like, it's a thing that has been a thing for years. So you really have to wonder, and the interesting question is Street Fighter V joining the Japanese arcade to console cycle in the way of, we'll push the update to the arcade first, and we'll let the Japanese players sit up here and suss it out, and then they'll have an advantage over you in all tournaments, as it's been for, like, well, you know, ever. So there. I said it. I introduced that to you. That's what it is. So that makes me wonder, is Street Fighter V about to join the Japanese to console arcade cycle? And if it is, how does it affect people that play Street Fighter V? How will this change how the meta works? Because, again, the meta of a video game is at its nucleus, because that's why they call it a meta, kids, is what you do, how you do, when you can, how you can, right? So you have to wonder, if the arcade to console cycle is becoming a thing, does this then give the Japanese players that they've always had this advantage, especially when it comes to certain video games that I will not name here, where they have all the updated content, the latest versions forever, ever, for we get them. You know what I'm saying? As someone who doesn't play Street Fighter V competitively in any way, this don't affect me at all in that way. The thing is that, yeah, I'm just going to wait for this to drop down to 20 bucks and I'm going to pick it up. I'm like, now that you got this, I don't have no reason to buy your season pass or none of that. But see, that brings up the other interesting question. Is this content going to have all that content that they not giving you back? The past Capcom Pro Tour stuff that we've had discussion after discussion after discussion about. This doesn't answer, this answers questions, but it brings up even more questions than it actually answers questions, which is a question in and of itself. So, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't. I'm like, I walked into this thinking I knew, and I don't know. But that's the point of these things, for me to suss out what it is I know and what it is I don't, to try to make something that makes sense. So here's what, after all of this, as we wrap up this installment of the newsroom, what is it? This was a thing that needed to happen. Street Fighter V needed this to survive. Because trust me, if they would have released the game in what the streets believe is some competency, we wouldn't be here. If Street Fighter V, for all the non-tournaments withstanding and all the money Capcom poured and Satcom and Sony poured into it as they super money had, if it wasn't failing, we wouldn't be having a conversation. So yes, I would like to congratulate you, small little internet fighting game community. You actually made a company listen to you. Good job. You spoke with your hearts, you spoke with your wallets, and you made a company understand that they brought out something they had no business and rushed it out. When, honestly, and let me say this, and let me be the one to say this. Again, let me say this from my point of view. Street Fighter 4, when we left it, still had a little bit of legs in it. I'm like, darn, it's like, cause see, Street Fighter 4, I have a feeling that's gonna become the new Super Turbo in a couple of years. That's gonna be the game where somebody gonna figure out something so retarded that it completely changes what that game is. Because again, 4 years, and just for a history lesson to take with you on your way out. The streets about maybe a little bit more than a decade ago. Little more than that, I'll say. Maybe close to maybe 15 years. Thought they had Super Turbo figured out. They thought that it was what it was. The things that when more people got in the lab and new people came into the fighting game community and new people start ramming at original ST, the things that people found in that game, while not sitting up here blowing like what was established out the water, it showed that there was still something there to be found. And I've made that argument too. I made that argument about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Is that don't tell people the pet shop thing. Because see, if they know that pet shop is like insanely dumb, and I will admit pet shop is insanely dumb, that doesn't mean the person who figures out how to solve that problem, you might be scaring them away to help to try to solve that problem that you and your homies couldn't debunk. But yet you didn't say something about me, then get to standing about Justin Wong and Chris G coming to your country, but you were OG. Oops, I just said that out loud. But look, I really honestly think, like I said, is that you guys made this happen, and I'm willing to give y'all that. I'm willing to sit up here in my old man chair and behind my sexy ass news desk and my wonderful green screen where I have dumb shit in the background and say that you guys made this happen. You guys wanted a better Street Fighter V, and now you're gonna get it. We were gonna get this at some point, but you're getting it sooner rather than later because Capcom need to dig this game out of a ditch, and it's perfect. Street Fighter V as it is will ride its wave out to the end of the Capcom Pro Tour. Right after that, you have this to deal with, and then they'll start moving Season 3, which I hope has somebody from rival schools. Hanada, Tiffany, Akira. Make it work. I would ask for Zaki, because Zaki would probably, well then it's like, because it's like we got Birdie. So I'm like, Zaki, you know, unless you're going to do something interesting with her. Like, Momo, do you really want a character in Street Fighter hitting people with a tennis racket? You know what I'm saying? Like, Yuzuriga, I'm like, I love her. I love being able to hit you with that command on, will pop you in the air, and then hit you with that show you rep thing where a whole bunch of notes are coming out of her butt. I don't know. I just love that character. She is my ace boss. Rival schools in my Street Fighter, Capcom, figure it out. That's your job now. Go figure that out. You got me Arcade Edition. That's nice. Figure out rival schools in my Street Fighter. Do it now. I'm like, I don't know if you guys have heard the story about why Kyosuke is not in Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max, but it was a story about 3 Capcom Unities ago about the reason why Kyosuke isn't in Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max was because the producers of rival schools didn't want it. And that's why he was the only character from Capcom vs. SNK 2 that didn't get ported over to that game. So there you go. Stuff and things, and you've learned stuff. Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, bitches. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get in on this because see, I'm like, this is a lot cheaper than, you know, buying characters and buying season passes. A disc. I love those. Yo, let's turn this into a video. How about we do that? Wisdoms, do you mind if I turn this into a video? Thank you, Wisdoms. I appreciate it. Look, you know what it's the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. And I'd like to thank you all for joining us in the TGRF newsroom for another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks. And with that being said, I'll holler at you guys next time, man. Peace out.